Welcome guys back to my channel. This is the fourth video in the playlist of pointers in C, and today I'll be covering two basic concepts that will be required when we proceed on to the arithmetic in pointers. So basically our next agenda will be arithmetic of pointers, but before that I want to just brush up a few concepts that are basically important. Alright, fine, let's dive into the topic. And like, if you haven't watched my previous videos which I have uploaded in the playlist, you can find in my channel the playlist. So I would recommend you please to watch those videos first, because I have basically explained there what are the basic ideas and meaning of pointers, how does this it work behind the scene. um, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. All right, and if you like the video, please do like it, comment, share, and that's it. Let's get started with. So I have my pen activated here. I'll just open the Word document. Fine. Today's agenda, like before, basically the arithmetic in pointers is the main agenda, as you can see that it is here, the arithmetic of pointers. Fine. So but before that I would like to focus my highlight on these things, the basic things. What do we mean by arithmetic operations, and what are contiguous memory? Fine. See, I am starting from the very basics, because I feel that if the basic and the core concept is clear, it will really benefit us. Fine. Fine. Let's get started with our first thing, that what do we mean by arithmetic operations? Fine. So fine. What do you mean by arithmetic operation? Suppose I take the example, I have two numbers. Suppose I have 5 and I have 6. All right. So when you look at this statement, all right, what are the things that basically capture your eye? One thing that captures is this, this. Other thing that captures your mind is this, and one more thing is this. So let's just I'll just tell what are these things. Whenever you encounter these kind of symbols within any kind of an expression, so these are basically, so you will just correlate, these are basically operators. Alright, these are basically known as operators. So what are the function of operators? Operators basically perform or help you to perform an operation. In this particular expression, what is the operation that is going on? That is addition of these two numbers. Alright, so in computing world, when the thing or the number or that appears on both sides of this particular operand, sorry, all right, so the thing that occurs like on both the side of this operator, this thing is basically known as operand. All right, this thing is basically known as your operand. Fine. And what is this thing? This, as I have mentioned, since it is containing equal to, this basically means assignment. So this in turn gets turned out to be your assignment statement. All right, this basically gets turned to your assignment statement. Fine. So this is the crux of this particular expression. So any kind of this expression that involves a mathematical calculation or a mathematical like operation being performed, so this type of operations is known as arithmetic operations. Fine. And please do remember that this is known as operators, and the expressions that appear on both the side of these operators are known as operands. And this equals to means basically assignment. So whatever the resultant value will be there, suppose in this case, instead of these numbers I had, suppose I had, suppose let's say b is equals to 11. So in this case 11 basically gets stored inside b. And how we know that? Because with the help of this equal to sign, which means it is assignment statement. Fine. So let's proceed on further. So what kind of operators are basically available? So there are basically whatever we have learned, we know. So plus means addition, minus is subtraction, there is this division, all right, and there is this multiplication here. And another thing we basically encounter is this percentage. Fine. So basically we call this modulo operator. Fine. So I'll explain what is this modulo operator. Fine. And this is plus minus division multiply. Why I have written it like this? Because it is in case when we know that this cross means multiply, but in case of computers this asterisk or this star symbol basically denotes multiplication. Fine. So what is now the basic difference between divide and this modulo is that I'll explain it now. So suppose I have written these two expressions, 10 divided by 3, and again I have written 10 modulus 3. Okay, so what is the basic difference between these two? What is the difference here and what is the difference here? Fine. So whenever we divide something, the resultant that we get is the quotient, and whenever we use this operator, this modulo operator, all right, the resultant that we get is remainder. Fine. So these are the basically two differences between these two. All right, so fine. So what will be the resultant of this expression if I write 10 divide 3? So the resultant of this expression will give me 3, since when we divide 10 by 3 we get the quotient as 3. All right, and what will be the resultant of this particular expression? So when we divide 10 by 3, since 10 is an even integer and we are dividing with an odd number, so this will basically give me answer of 1. Fine, because 1 is the remainder that we get when we divide 10 by 3. And how we know that we will get the remainder? Since we have specified this modulo operator here. Fine. So that is the basic difference between division and modulo. So these are in detail the arithmetic operations that are basically available, that we basically use in our program. Okay, so now let's move on further to contiguous memory. So what is contiguous memory? So I'll just draw a picture. All right, I'll just let's suppose I have a box here, another box here, another here, and another here. Fine. So now let's assume that this entire screen that is visible to you, let's assume that this thing is suppose your memory. All right, and whenever we want to store something in our memory, all right, we need to create this kind of boxes. And how is it created? With the help of an assignment statement, like I mentioned in the first video. Like whenever I write, suppose x is equals to 5, so what basically happens behind the scene, a box is created in the memory and 5 is basically stored here, and we referred to this box with the name of x. So basically this is basically referring to variable or a reference name. Fine. So we know this part. All right, fine, we know this part. So now basically what happens, so these what is the thing that you basically see here? All right, these are basically, suppose you take this box, you take this box, you take this, you take this. Okay, fine. So what is the basic thing that you are noticing here? These all are discrete. These all are discrete. There is no continuity between these two. They are just random, or you can say discrete or random. That would be an appropriate word. All right, discrete or random. Fine. So this type of memory allocation, all right, like which is at random, like whenever we create x equals to 5 or b is equals to 10, or suppose a is equals to 5 plus 10. Fine. So whenever this type of box are created, these are created random or discretely or non-contiguously. That is the basically thing. There is no contiguity between these things. All right, now let's take an example of another thing. All right, now just take an let's take an example of this. Suppose I have this. So when you now what do you realize? What is this? This has basically a difference between the thing that we have seen just a few seconds back. What is the basic thing? Here there is a contiguity. There is a contiguity, and what do I mean by contiguity? Basically, I'll say, so there is a contiguity. All right, so contiguity means you can think this as to be a one particular block. This can be thought of one block. All right, and these things, that what is this one, sorry, this one, all right, this one here, these are basically part of this one particular block, but they are basically connected with each other. You can think this is a solid line. They are basically connected with each other. And what do we say this connectivity? We call it contiguity. They are contiguous. So basically, whenever memory is allocated, I am assuming, like, we know that whenever this type of memory is created in our memory space, all right, this so this is basically known typically known as array. All right, so I'll explain it further when we in my upcoming videos, whatever. So just use see what do we mean by contiguous memory. What do we mean by contiguous memory? So we mean basically whenever this kind of memory gets created in a memory space, it is basically one block, and that block is basically subdivided into parts. All right, and these parts basically have a kind of relation. Now you will question me in this video that what kind of relation, how can this box have relation? This box, you will get a better feel of it in the next video when I will be explaining this part with the help of addresses. Like every other memories, every other box is associated with an address, as you know. All right, when I will be explaining it with the help of this address, you will get a better feel of it. All right, for now you just assume that since, so what was in my previous picture, I had these discrete systems or discrete kind of boxes located here in my end. If you think this screen to be your memory, so these are basically discrete. All right, these are basically discrete. But or random or non-contiguous, but in this case this entire thing can be thought as in one block, and which are subdivided into blocks, and these are basically contiguous in nature. So whenever memory will be allocated, all right, it will not be allocated randomly. It will not, like in this case memory was allocated randomly for this, discretely for this, but in this case it will be the memory space or the memory will be allocated in a contiguous manner. all right. In one contiguous manner it will be allocated. And how we can access each of this box? Basically we can access it as if you are comfortable with the knowledge of array, so these are basically accessed with the help of index. All right, fine. So this is basically what do we mean by contiguous memory, and these are basically known as non-contiguous memory. Fine. So for this video, this is for so this much only for this video. Fine. So in the next video, what will be our focus? We will learn how the arithmetic in pointers basically differ from our normal arithmetic operations. All right, and I'll be you will get a better feel of this contiguous thing, that how each box is related when we get when we go deep into this arithmetic in pointers, and when we introduce address for each particular box. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you have any kind of query or doubt, you may mention it in the comment box below, and please do subscribe it if you haven't subscribed my channel. And so we'll meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye, take care, have a great day.